CoCo Johnson, your Lady of Wellness. Join me as I address topics in all things wellness, from mental health, social disparities, and education, advocating for those who suffer in silence. Hi, I'm CoCo Johnson, your Lady of Wellness. Join me as I address topics in all things wellness, from mental health, social disparities, and education, advocating for those who suffer in silence. To you today by Rose of Sharon All Naturals, changing lives one tablespoon at a time. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome today to my guest, Miss Shar'ron Mason. Welcome, friend.
Well, hey, how you doing?
I'm well. I'm excited that you're here today.
I am excited to be here as well. Been looking forward to it ever since you extended that invitation.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Show people and tell people who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So I am Shar'ron Mason. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am an author. I'm a publisher. And I love all things wellness. It's my passion. It's the thing that drives me to get up every morning and to give my best.
All right. Well, welcome again. Thanks for coming again. And let's just jump right into it. So, why wellness?
Why not wellness?
All right.
Why not wellness? Oh, goodness. So in my life, it's imperative. Being a therapist, it's important for me to put myself first, to prioritize my self-care, all things wellness, and it's the way in which we have just a greater quality of life. If we don't focus on it, if we put it low on our list of priorities, then everything else is going to fall apart. So I build my life on wellness, and I support others in having well lives as well.
Cool. So tell me more about your work and how your day-to-day works out for you when you're working with your patients or your clients.
Ooh, day out, day in, it's all about getting up and doing the things that I have to do for myself. So I'm going to get up in the morning. I am going to do my devotion. I'm going to work out. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do all the things to fill up my cup, because as the day goes on, I'm going to have to help folks to fill up their cups. So I put out my self-care first. I work from home currently. I love it. Throughout the entire pandemic, I've been working from home, and it allows me to see my clients through that screen. And some people aren't into that whole virtual thing, but I love it. It allows me to be comfortable. I can go through my day, see my clients, do the things I need to do for them, and then also meet my needs as well, whether that means getting out, taking a walk, making myself a snack, taking a nap, which you know is important to
Yes,
me.
indeed.
But I can prioritize those things that are important to me while I'm also caring for my clients.
Okay. And so how do you feel that feeds on to your clients? When you do those things for yourself, how do you feel that helps your clients recognize that this is some things that's helping me along the way by my therapist taking care of herself?
Ooh, I would hope that they'd be able to see it. So the way that I show up, I want it to be fully. I don't want to come with all of this baggage and now I'm trying to help someone else and I'm bleeding all over them. I don't want it to be like that. So I want them to know that when they show up for their sessions, that it's about them and it's not about all these unmet needs that I have. And I hope that they're able to see that even if they don't necessarily know my routines in life. Hope they say, well, what is she doing? She's not over there feeling anxious. She's not over there seeming down and depressed. She's not over there trying to figure out how she's going to grab all these pieces and put them together so that she's going to be okay. I would hope that they would know that she's doing something and she's feeding those things back into us.
All right. So I know that you're an author as well, and you've touched on various subjects. How many books do you have now?
I have 6 books, 8 journals.
Wow. So out of those books, which books would you gravitate towards more if you wanted to, like, talk to your clients more on, just bringing that wellness back home for them in order for them to cope with whatever they're having going through?
Okay, so it depends on who I'm working with, of course. So I work with, I don't work with little people that much as far as the therapy piece. So more like within the family, yes. But even Boss Ladies Need a Break is definitely a go-to. That's the book that's about you prioritizing yourself as a lady. We tend to put ourselves on the back burner, taking care of everybody, everything, and I want us to know that that's not okay. Oftentimes we're shamed when we say that I'm going to look after myself a little bit. I'm going to take care of myself. And I want us to know that, no, we don't have to be ashamed. We don't have to apologize for it. And we can put ourselves on the front burner because everybody else that's connected to us, they're going to get what comes from that. So it's really pretty selfless. You know, they see it as selfish, but it's not. It's kind of selfless.
All right. So you stated for the women. So what about the men?
So for the men, I've got gratitude journals. I've got those for the ladies and the men. But the pieces that are within Even Boss Ladies Need a Break, of course I'm not going to recommend that they read Even Boss Ladies Need a Break, but some of those same concepts are going to pull over. Society says that as men, you've got to be strong, you can't expose your weaknesses, you got to show up in all these ways. And sometimes they're not okay either. Just like we have struggles and just like we have grief that we experience and loss, they do as well. So I like to let them know that you have a safe space to come with whatever it may be, the things that you can't share just out there in the world that somebody's going to be looking down on you about. I give that safe space. And I try to model what it looks like to be in a healthy relationship. Even though this is a therapist-client relationship, okay, this is what it looks like to be validated. This is what it looks like to be listened to. This is what it looks like to be affirmed so that they can set healthy boundaries in their relationships. They can give it, and then they can also receive these things.
That's awesome. So you and I, we talk a lot, and we talk about different things from, you know, we travel. We also talk about our stages in life. Sometimes I'll call you and be like, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this. And one thing that I've come across lately is the notion of the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And so being an entrepreneur and also daily life, we show up for people just like you mentioned, and we're not necessarily all the way there because we might be showing up for the wrong intentions. Could you explain what the imposter syndrome is and also how it differentiate between men and women?
Ooh, imposter syndrome. Oh, goodness. So a lot of people have experienced it. For some people, it's not as prevalent. It's not something that continues to show up day in and day out. But for some people, it's a day-to-day thing. This is something that I'm experiencing because even though I may be excelling, even though it may look like I'm at the top of my game, for some people internally I'm holding on by a thread. So I'm thinking I'm going to be exposed because I don't believe that I'm doing as well, that I'm excelling, that it's not just a fluke, that I'm at the level that I'm on. And for those individuals, I'm going to continue to try to produce, to perform, continue to try to excel, and it can be a situation to where I'm trying to be perfect. And we know that no one's perfect, but if I'm trying to do these things day in and day out, then chances are I'm going to get burnt out, I'm going to be stressed, I'm going to be overwhelmed, I'm going to be anxious, I'm going to experience depression. And who lives their life that way? That's not a long-term plan. And so for men and for women, it can look a little bit different. For the anxiety, the depression on the side of the men, on the side of the women, it can be more overwhelmed, it can be more burnout, it can be more stress. But at the end of the day, we have to look at, well, what is this and how is it impacting me? Is it the voices that I hear that were telling me that you have to be perfect, you have to do all things perfect, and you can't show up any way less than perfect, which set us up for failure?
Yes.
Or is it society that's saying, well, that was a fluke, you know, you was a one-hit wonder, and the thing that you did that was so great, oh, that's not you, that's just something that happened to happen. You know, oh, it's a coincidence. So what are the voices that we're hearing that are feeding into it? And then how have I internalized that? Because initially it may be where it was someone else's voice or it was society's voice, but at some point it becomes our own voice, which, of course, that's more destructive to us.
Yes.
So if I'm at a place where I'm experiencing imposter syndrome, I may need to surround myself with folks who are going to be able to allow me to be vulnerable. Because that's the other thing. I don't want people to know this is something that I'm experiencing, so I have to continue to put on a facade day in and day out. But when I can be vulnerable and I can share with other people, chances are I'm going to find that they're experiencing it too, possibly. Now we can have conversation. We can normalize what we're experiencing, and we don't have to experience shame. Something else that people can do is, if I get to the place where I've been trying to process this and it hasn't been working for me, maybe I'm needing to go see a therapist. You know, it's not about being shamed or being weak, not being strong, but we need to see therapists sometimes, and we need to normalize getting our behinds up, going seeing a therapist, and investing in ourselves in that way. I'm a therapist with a therapist, two therapists. I'm all about it. But of course, I can't just be the spokeschild. We have to all rally around. It's okay to see a therapist if we need to. It's okay to talk to our mentors. It's okay to talk to people who are going through these things.
Nice. So did you notice a influx after the pandemic, or was it about the same prior to, or because it seemed like people are all over the place these days, and the pandemic held us in, and then once we got out, we kind of let loose. So do you find that now that it's more of a thing than it was, or?
So this thing has been around, and the phrase has been coined since the 70s. So it's been around forever, but I think for some people it's more pressure. It's more pressure to perform, especially when you have social media that's telling you that everybody else is performing. Oh, everyone else's business is doing great. Everyone else is getting the promotions. And so we're able to see a lot more of what other people are doing. And when we start comparing, absolutely, we're going to see more of that. Yes.
So with social media, I'm glad you brought that up. So social media, like for me, I have to detox sometimes because it does become overwhelming. So do you find that with some of your clients? Do they ever mention that, or do you ever recommend that?
Yeah, so I've had clients to definitely talk about, I've got to take a step back. And we talk about, you know, what's going to be the impact when you take that step back, if they're also doing business, you know, what does that look like to have more balance in it? So we're able to have those conversations. And I've had to do it from time to time as well. I'm one of those people, I live on social media. And so it's, okay, how is this thing impacting me? Is it beneficial? What is it distracting me from? Are there things that I really need to be addressing, but I'm putting social media in the way so that I don't have to address certain things? So what is the role that it's playing? So we definitely have conversations, and I've had clients that have taken breaks from conversations we've had, but oftentimes it's something that they've recognized that, hey, maybe I need to shift this thing.
Nice. So I'm going to go back. So before you decided to become a counselor, before you decided to get really involved in wellness, where do you think the foundation lied? What made you push into that direction to wanting to help someone else and also yourself along the way?
I'm thinking in terms of wanting to help myself first. I mean, there are days, so it depends on the day that you would ask that. But when I look at it today, me wanting to help myself, that's at the forefront. That leads this thing. So I can recall sitting in my cubicle having a whole pity party. I was not in a place in my life where I was satisfied. And it's not that anything was just wrong, but it all wasn't right either.
Yes.
And so having this pity party, and God actually showed up. And I can't say that I actually heard his voice, but it was more of a feeling, and it was create the life you want.
Nice.
And prior to that, I think I'd gotten stuck, stagnant. My sense of hope wasn't what it had always been. And I knew that I had to do something different, but I wasn't sure what. And so then I was on a journey for myself. What's going to make me happy? Well, you got to do some soul searching, because sometimes pushing those dreams to the side and thinking I've just got to do what I need to do. But there's some options, and I can start doing some of the things that I want to do. So I started from that place of just being more curious about what it is that I wanted to do, rediscovering some of the goals and dreams, you know, becoming even like more adventurous, you know, kind of calm down. And I'm like, oh, there are things I want to do. Let me get out there and live. And I struck out that way. But in that, I said, well, also I can support other people as well. Because I didn't want it to be just something that I was doing for the short period of time. For me, it's a lifestyle. Yeah, and I'm checking in with myself on a regular basis. What do you want to do, Shar'ron? Well, let's do it. What are the limitations? What tells you that you can't? Okay, let's shut that down. Let's challenge that, and let's actually do what it is that you wanted to do so that you can have a more fulfilled life.
Nice. So I actually watch you live life out loud, and you've done some things that were I didn't expect, but expected. So talk about some of your adventures. Like, I know that you write books. I know you publish books. I know that. But talk about one of your mission in life was to get on stage and be a comedian for self-fulfillment purposes. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So I have this thing that sometimes I do. And if it's something that I want to do, I'll commit. Mm-hmm. And I would not allow myself to talk myself out of it. And that was the thing around the comedy. Mm-hmm. So I made the commitment, and then I really thought about it, and I said, whoa, you've actually got to do this thing. Mm-hmm. Even though I had wanted to do it for a very long time, mm-hmm. I was like, okay, now you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I made the commitment, and then it was time to start kind of doing the practicing and all of that. Mm-hmm. But it really was just about something that I'd always want to do. I'm a person that loves to laugh. I love having a good time. And I said, I want to do that. And I got on the stage. I did the comedy. I'm sure I was not the best whatsoever, but having been my first time, I think it went pretty good.
It did.
It was extremely enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about the way that it played out was the next day I was going on a girls' trip. Mm-hmm. And it was wonderful. So it worked out perfectly because I said, well, even if this does not go well, these people aren't going to see me for a few days. I'm going to be in Cancun. But very fulfilling. And my thing is, do it once. You don't like it, and I think I want to do it again. Mm-hmm. But if you do it once, you don't like it, you don't have to necessarily do it again. Mm-hmm. But oftentimes, we don't know what we will like because we're not even willing to give it a try. Mm-hmm. And so I'll try things. You know me. Mm-hmm. I jump in holes, into water and holes, and I do all kind of adventurous things because I don't have to do it again. Mm-hmm. But some of those things I would definitely want to do again because why not?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to live a boring life.
Yes.
I'm not a boring person, so my life should not be boring. It should reflect who I am.
Nice. So what would you say to the viewers on taking that next step into fulfilling themselves? So meaning doing something that you never thought to do. Well, you thought about doing it, but things, people, naysayers or anything like that, or any people in the world tell you not to, but how would you tell somebody to approach that?
Okay. So for me, I was talking to the viewers, I would tell you to take a step back. Chances are you're so surrounded by people and all their opinions, all of their thoughts, and rather than continue to be in the midst of all these people and all these voices, take a step back, and you may need to have some alone time. And when I take that alone time, I'm going to have that alone time. It's going to be me, it's going to be God. We're going to talk and we're going to work this out. But take that time and be curious. What is it that I want to do? Why do I want to do it? Sometimes we don't necessarily know what our why is, and then that allows us to get talked out of it. When I know what my why is, you can't talk me out of it because it's strong, it's foundational. So know what your why is. Think in terms of, if I don't do this, how is it going to impact me? If I don't do it, oh gosh, I'm going to have I'm not going to have just regrets. Oh, I don't want to have regrets. Not about this life that I'm living. So take some time. Do an inventory. Think in terms of the things that have been really enjoyable, and then how you may want to add this to the list. Oh, I don't necessarily want to add that to the list. That's something that my mama wanted me to, or my daddy wanted me to. It's not a goal or a dream of mine. Oh, is this something that I really want to do? Let me add that to the list. So there's so many ways of doing it. And then surround yourself with other people who are also stepping out there. If I'm only around people who don't want to do a whole lot of things, then chances are I'm probably not going to want to do a whole lot of things either. So let me surround myself with people. That's why I surround myself with folks like you, beautiful people like you, because I know that you guys are going to encourage me. You guys, even if it's something that you may not want to do, you're not going to stifle me. You're not going to be the naysayer. You're going to be that person that's going to push me on. And so my circle looks like that. Yeah, I'm not around the folks that are going to be doing the things that are going to be, oh, you shouldn't. Oh, do that.
Yes.
You go, girl.
And I could vouch for that. So Shar'ron and I just went on a great vacation this past summer, and it was a bunch of us. And she mentioned, "Oh, I'm going to go jump off this cliff," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not for me. You enjoy yourself." And and I could see the difference when after you did it. It was like one of those like fulfill kind of deals, and I saw the joy it brought you afterwards. So that makes a great difference when you surround yourself around people who want to be able to do some things for themselves, and step into that uncomfortable zone and forcing yourself and pushing. And sometimes everybody's not going to want to go with you, but at the same time there'll be people saying, "Go ahead, girl, go and do your thing. I'll be right here waiting for you," that kind of deal. So that's great. So one other thing I want to bring up is that you're a published author, and you also help people publish their books.
Yes.
So you're a publisher as well. So what are some gratifications in that? And if someone is interested in, they have a book thought, or they have an idea, or they just haven't put pen to paper yet, what would be some things that you would say to step out in to fulfill that necessary need that they might be having?
Ooh, I love being a publisher. And some days I love being a publisher even more than an author. And I really love being an author. So for me to say that, it really means something. But when someone is able to fulfill, and it may be, I've had people who said, "I've been sitting on this idea for over 20 years. I'm like, whoa, we got to bring that thing to life. Or this is a way that I want to honor my grandparents, or whatever it may be. So whatever their why is, when I hear that, it's like, how can I be a part of that? This isn't about me and this great fulfillment that I'm going to have. I'm not necessarily going to be out there marketing with your book and all that type of thing. My name's not going to be on it because I help people to self-publish. But when I hear that this is something that's meaningful to someone else and it's going to bring fulfillment, then it's like, how can we make that happen? And if you're sitting on this idea and you're saying, "Oh, I want to do it," then I would say, why haven't you to this point? Because I want to break down those barriers.
Yes.
Oh, financially, you would not believe how inexpensive it can be to publish. Some people, "Oh, no, it's got to be a great amount." No, it absolutely does not. Come on through this workshop. And so I do offer workshops, and I walk folks through step by step. If you can do it on your own, please do, absolutely. But if you're wanting these tips and these tools and these nuggets, and you want to be walked through, you want someone to take your hand, walk through with you, you want someone to give you support after the class, even the workshop, then I would say take the workshop. Let's knock down those barriers. And that way, this is something that you don't have to still have out there. It's something that I want to do. We have so many things that we want to do. Why not now? I think through the pandemic, I learned that it was prior, of course, to the pandemic as well, but we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not even guaranteed an hour from now. We were losing people so rapidly, and it made me really think in terms of, okay, how do I live this life to the fullest now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when someone gives me permission, but now. I want to support people in doing that as well. So they can definitely go to my website and get the information, lovethatrelationship.com/shop. They can get the information about upcoming workshop, which I have one coming up pretty soon.
Nice.
And yes, get in there so I can walk alongside you.
So before we wrap up, I just want to circle back real quick on mental health wellness tips.
Yes.
For what can we give 3 tips, if you can, for the ladies, 3 tips for the men, and why it's important. And yeah.
Okay. So when I think in terms of some tips, and you said 3 for the ladies, 3 for the men.
Yes.
So for the ladies, I would say learn to put yourself first. Don't allow anyone to shame you for putting yourself first. So learn to put yourself first. Prioritize yourself. The second would be to be curious about the things that you even love and enjoy. Oftentimes we're taking care of the kids, taking care of the partners, all these things, and we don't have a clue what it is that we even enjoy in life. And then the kids, grow up and move out, and the partners may be there, or they may get some other things going on in their lives, and we're trying to figure out, well, what about me? So be curious about the things that you enjoy in your own life. And then the next thing is just continue to dream. Continue to dream, because when you have a dream, excuse me, you've got something to continue to push forward. So continue to dream, continue to hold up those hopes.
That's important. Yes.
For the men, it's still similar. There's this thing about men have to be strong and don't you cry. Surround yourself with some folks that allow you to be vulnerable. Because it's when you're holding those things in, whatever it may be that you're going through, then that's internally destructive. So surround yourself with some folks that you can be vulnerable with. They say find your tribe. Even for the guys, I say find your tribe. Also, think in terms of your why. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Is it because society, my family, someone has told me that I need to do these things? Or is it because I want to do them? So give yourself an opportunity to kind of rediscover who you are even as you're moving on through life. And then the next is just think in terms of what do I want to contribute to the world, and then the why. And if it's something that is, once again, someone else's why, then let's not do that. You can give yourself a restart just like the ladies can give themselves a restart. And it can look like what you want it to look like. So, yes, create the life that you want as well. Give yourself that permission.
Awesome. So I am glad that we covered those things, and want to get that out to people that counseling does not mean something is automatically mentally wrong with you. Sometimes you just need mental clarity. Sometimes you just need someone that's on the outside looking in to tell you, hey, this is how this perceives. This is how that, maybe some tips that they can follow to improve their overall life. Because we all know that if we help ourselves, there's a reason they tell us to put our mask on when we get on a plane. Then we can help someone else, and we can make a greater good and a greater cause later on to our community if we are at our best selves. And that is important to always remember and keep in mind, because most of us go through day-to-day practices just in routine, and not stopping to think and not stopping to do, and just because we have to, or that someone else, the imposter syndrome, has kicked in, and we're trying to figure this thing out real fast, real quick. So again, I want to just say thank you for being on the show. And we're going to have information for Miss Shar'ron Mason, so you can follow her on Facebook.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
On Twitter.
Not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Instagram. Is there any other?
Let's see. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well.
Okay.
I'm on TikTok.
Okay. So she's always got daily tips. So you might want to just check her out. She always on fitness mode. She's always, even if it's in the house, she tells you how to work it inside your home, outside your home. So always check out and see what she has to offer you guys, and especially all of her workshops. She does many workshops around the city. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. And great talk. Thank you for joining us today on the CoCo Johnson Show, brought to you by our sponsors today at Rosa Sharon All Natural, changing lives one tablespoon at a time.